WLKY.
Hi, folks. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jay Cardosi. Okay, we just had a tornado warning issued for our far northern communities. So we're going to be on the air for a little while here. You can see this storm. There's the rotation. It's in northeastern portions of Lawrence County. This storm, this radar-indicated tornado, is moving into northwestern portions of Jackson County. So if you're watching from places like, Heltonville, the Kurtz area, Norman, Houston, Spraytown, Freetown, Acme, all those smaller communities, the rural areas of northwestern Jackson County, get to your place of safety immediately. Now, here is Lawrence County right here. That's just outside the WLKY viewing area. I'm sure people can still get us in Lawrence County, but officially Jackson County, part of our viewing area, and that rotation is just getting ready to push into northwestern portions of Jackson County. So that tornado warning in effect for the next several minutes. It's going to catch you folks in northwestern Jackson here as it moves quickly off to the east-northeast at speeds of around 45 to 50 miles per hour. Now, here is Seymour. You go down to Crothersville, you go to Brownstown, a little bit more heavy populated centers. It looks like that radar-indicated tornado will stay off to your north and west if you're in Seymour, Brownstown, Crothersville, or you live very close to those communities. Nonetheless, the rotating part of this storm, as it moves off towards the northeast, will catch Freetown around 8:28. It'll catch Spraytown 8:32, Rockford 8:43, Jonesville 8:44, Reddington around 8:47. If it maintains its integrity, continues to be a tight rotation, indicating the possibility of a tornado. So again, tornado warning in effect for the next several minutes. Northwestern Jackson County, please, if you're up in this area and you kind of fall within that red polygon that's flashing, get to your place of safety immediately. Of course, that is a basement, no question about it. If you don't have a basement, lowest level of your house, interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside to help slow down and stop any debris that could be flying around. This is the rotation detector. Now, what this is showing is basically sudden changes in the wind pattern, all right? It doesn't necessarily mean that there's tornadoes all throughout this bright green and dark red area. It just means that we're getting a lot of twisting and turning going on, and if that rotation tightens and reaches down towards the ground, well, indeed, we could see a tornado form as it moves into northwestern portions of Jackson County. So, again, you are under a warning. Get to your place of safety. On top of that, perhaps a little bit of hail. Some of these cores are reaching upwards of 25 to 30,000 feet in the atmosphere where temperatures are extremely cold. So we are generating some hailstones. We have some wind shear out there. Straight line winds could be on the order of 60 to 70 miles an hour, not only in this tornado-warned storm, but in other storms as we track off towards the south and southwest. Meteorologist Suzanne Horgan is in with me tonight, as is Eric Zernick. We're tracking it for you, and we will continue to monitor these storms as everything pulls off towards the northeast. So there's the one tornado warning about 65 to 70 miles to the northwest of the metro. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings along and east of the line. These actually are from about the Ohio River and points north, affecting our southern Indiana communities. So we have places like Jackson County and points off towards the south underneath severe thunderstorm warnings for some hail and some straight line wind, at least in spots, scattered locations that could easily bring down trees, power lines. We could have some power outages. So again, keep that in mind. Some of the winds could be upwards of 60 to 70 miles an hour. The entire line is sinking off towards the east-southeast as the individual supercells along that line track rapidly off to the northeast at speeds of 40 to 45 miles per hour. Now, again, here's the metro. And again, you got to move off to the west by about 45 miles until you get into the storm. So in the metro, we're still a good hour and a half to 2 hours out before we start to see storms here in town. But they are expected to still be fairly strong even when they reach the I-65 corridor. Okay, of main concern, this is the tornado warning. This is Lawrence County. This is Jackson County, about 60, 70 miles north of the metro, from Kurtz over towards Freetown, Spraytown, and then off to the north of there through Bald Knobs, for example, these smaller communities of northwestern Jackson County. Please get to your place of safety. A tornado warning has been issued for your community. So if you're in this red polygonal, again, stay in your place of safety until this storm has passed on by. You can see why the warning has been issued. We have a pretty well-defined couplet here, and what I mean by that, red are winds that are blowing towards the top portion of your TV set. Green, the opposite direction. And you can see right there that sudden change in wind, that cyclonic curvature going on. And of course, we have a low-level lock on the radar as well, and that's telling us that some of that rotation is getting very close to the ground. That's why the tornado warning has indeed been issued. We also have other storms that have produced some damage in spots, like storms in Du Bois County, Suzanne.
That's right. We've
some
had
wind
reports
damage
of power lines that have been down in Knox County, a little bit closer over into the Wabash Valley. We have also had reports of some downed trees and power lines. In fact, some of the interstates had to be shut down across areas of the Wabash Valley because of some of those damaging storms that raced through. Right now, we only have the one tornado warning. That being said, the other warnings that we currently have for the severe thunderstorm warnings are for winds perhaps as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour. So these are significant storms that are going to continue to push off to the north and to the northeast. Right now, we only have that one tornado warning that does, in fact, continue. It is a radar-indicated tornado, but if you were with us this weekend, you will most likely remember that we had other tornadoes that were reported that were radar-indicated that did verify with EF1 damage reported across sections of Orange County and back across portions of Jackson County. So this is a very dynamic storm system, once again, with a ton of wind energy, Jay.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, it's that time of the year we get these major low pressure systems that track across the country. Believe it or not, this storm system is producing blizzard conditions in Omaha, Nebraska, through sections of Iowa on into Wisconsin. 60, 70 mile an hour winds and snow 6 to 12 inches. It's a mess out there. Well, on the spring side of things, we're dealing with the storms. And when these storms pop up, they go way up into the atmosphere and they tap some of that strong wind energy, and then they can bring it down to the ground in the form of a damaging wind gust. They can bring it down in the form if that rotation tends to tighten, in the form of a quick tornado spin up. And with a lot of cold air aloft, we can also generate hailstones. And really all three hazards are in play on this Wednesday evening. We've got a lot of rotation going on very close to Kurtz. We have a hail core immediately off to the west of there. You can see that rotation is now working in between the Kurtz area, the Freetown area, heading towards Spraytown, and it looks like this is going to stay just off to the west and northwest of you folks in the Seymour area. So I'm really not too worried about tornadic weather immediately in the Seymour area. We'll have to watch the other cells that are farther off to the southwest, but this particular tornado warned storm should stay just off to the northwest of Seymour. All right, so that's that one. This one expires, by the way, in the next 3.5 minutes.
Actually, it goes till 45.
Until 8:45?
Yeah.
8:45 is the warning. All right, so we are placing a storm track on that for you. Spraytown, 8:31. Jonesville, 8:46. That's when the most dangerous part of this cell will be very close to those communities. So, you know, bottom line, just stay in your place of safety until this thing has passed on by, as we still have some very, very intense rotation actually in this thunderstorm, so some high winds, a pretty good bet. And you can see Suzanne is pinging winds that are 67, 70 miles an hour moving in one direction, another direction, not as strong, but we still have that cyclonic rotation. Okay, let's go farther off to the south and southwest. Check out some of the other storms now, because we have severe thunderstorm warnings. This is Lawrence County. This is Orange County. Of course, Orange County, especially especially hard hit this past weekend, early Saturday morning, as tornadoes moved across mainly west and northern portions of Orange County. Well, more big storms. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings. Possibility of 60 to 70 mile-an-hour winds in these cores as they track off towards the east and also the northeast. And we're starting to get warnings now south of the Ohio River as this line becomes a little bit better defined over western portions of Kentucky. The general movement off to the east, that's going to place it in the metro area around 10:30 tonight, we're thinking. And some of the storms still at that time, even though we're moving into darkness, some of those storms could still rather be intense with the high winds we have in place and just a lot of atmospheric instability. Once you move east of I-65, I think those storms will tend to weaken just a little bit. But yeah, you can see Suzanne is placing a time marker on there for us until it reaches portions of the metro, and we're looking at about an hour and a half out or so.
Yeah, as you mentioned, at about 10 o'clock, and so we haven't had any reports. I don't think, Eric, I know you're monitoring. Have
just the one in Du Bois, but not outside
one
of that.
in Du Bois. So this is moving through a somewhat more rural area. We do want to point out that we do have a line of strong and severe storms that are continuing to push throughout areas of Orange County, back across portions of Crawford County in the next several minutes. So because of that, warnings have been put in effect out ahead of this line of storms. We saw very strong winds today. We're going to continue to see strong environmental winds. And as this line of storms continues to push off to the east, northeast, we're going to continue to watch most likely more warnings being issued. The only tornado warning that we currently have for the WLKY viewing area does include the very northern sections of Jackson County, where we are seeing, as we dissect that storm, very powerful winds the upwards of 70 miles per hour. So suggestive, of course, of the potential of damaging wind gusts, certainly.
Okay, Suzanne, thank you so very much. So again, let's kind of pull out, reset, take a look at the entire viewing area here, get a good idea as to what's going on. This is the main show. It looks like another little line segment trying to form immediately west of the Wabash, but this seems to be the main show on this Wednesday evening. As that passes across any one location, the threat for severe weather will start dropping off. But again, it's going to be a little while until it clears the WLKY viewing area. So we have the tornado warning to the north. We have severe thunderstorm warnings the farther south and southwest you go. In the metro right now, pretty balmy out there. We're in the upper 60s to near 70. Winds are quite strong, but overall, it's on the quiet side, and it's going to stay quiet in town for about the next hour. Anytime after 9:30, 10 o'clock, that will be changing. There are your severe thunderstorm warnings. Did we lose the tornado warning, folks? It looks like we did.
They just let that expire. So.
Okay, good news there. What we're going to do is real quick, okay? So here's the metro. There's the line. Severe thunderstorm warnings, possibility of 60 to 70 mile-an-hour winds along segments of that line, everything tracking off to the east and northeast. All right, we'll continue to monitor the situation. As long as there are no other tornado warnings, what we're planning on doing is just cutting in over commercial breaks. Having said that, I'm going to get you back to Survivor right now. Hi, folks. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jay Cardosi. Once again, we're going to take this commercial break. It's 2 minutes long, tell you what's going on, get you back to Survivor. But I will say this, right after this commercial break, if you want more weather information, join us over at WLKY.com as we're going to stream over there for quite some time to pass along the information that these storms, what kind of weather they're producing and where they're headed next. All right, so here's what's going on. As you can see, here's the metro. There's the line of strong to severe storms. A tornado warning to the north of the viewing area and just north of Seymour. But from Seymour all the way south down into western Breckinridge County and now Ohio County in Kentucky, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the possibility of winds that could be around 60 to 70 miles an hour in scattered locations, some hailstones as well, and there's still some rotation showing up. This seems to be about the strongest storm in the line right now. This is Crawford County. We're about 30 to 40 miles due west of the metro. There's English. and there's Brownstown in Crawford County, and you can see we have some pretty good wind energy. The rotation detector is picking up some dangerous twisting of the winds right there near the English area. So at the minimum, a damaging wind gust is a pretty good bet as it sweeps across central portions of Crawford County. Also, we're picking up a hail core with this particular supercell as it tracks off towards the northeast. So hail that could be a little bit larger than 1 inch in diameter. All right, that's the latest. I'll keep you posted during these commercial breaks. Want more information? Go over to WLKY.com right now.